Last night on Survivor Marquesas, GCade insisted that all he wanted was to create a new society. But a reconfigured Rotu tribe unanimously told him they'd rather play the game their way.
I came here to try to build a society. I'm here to see if 8 people from all over the country, from 8 different kinds of lives, can come here and do this, and live, and be happy, and build something amazing.
But would you lie to win the game?
I'm not here to play the game. So
well,
the
you are
is
playing
no.
the game, you are here.
No.
But would you lie?
That's not what I'm here for.
Are we staying tight? Is that the deal? Are we trying to put Rotu back together?
Yeah.
Okay, it's all good. Come here, guys. Everybody's happy. Come on.
Gabe is a wild card right now, and he could turn the tables on me.
It's time for you to go.
Gabe. Didn't have to be that way. How you doing?
Not too shabby, I gotta say I'm pretty good.
Huh?
Yeah.
You said you weren't there to play the game, you weren't there for the money. Obvious question, why not?
Because everything changes when you get on an island with 7 strangers and you start building a world, especially when you have 2 weeks to just get along and form these great emotional bonds, and you've all sort of created this great social dynamic. And what's happened is you have 8 people who went out there for the individual struggle for survival, and suddenly you've got 8 people working individually for the survival of all. It was very, very cool.
But that's the game.
And that's why I got voted off.
But I mean, why didn't you want to play that? And if you felt that way going in, why'd you even apply?
Because, and like I said, things change when you get on the island. You know, when you don't have to play the game and then suddenly it's looming in your face, you think, what's going to be more valuable for me to take out of this, the game or the experience? Am I going to come out here and say that $1 million is more important to me than anything? Because people will do anything to win $1 million, and it wasn't. I thought, this is my big shot. This is my big chance to go out into the world and test some of my principles, and I think I did pretty well.
So when you ask the question, what are the ethics of the game, your answer would be they're the same as the ethics in life.
My answer would be everyone is on their own journey. And for some people, the journey is the destination. And for some people, it's sort of a faceless road, and all that matters is where they're going. So ethics run on an individual basis. I wasn't out there to tell anybody else how to play the game.
Does that mean that those who play it best and those who are manipulating others to succeed are less ethical, more unethical?
Not a bit. They just have different objectives than I do. I never, when this started happening, when I started imagining that the game would become more than me going out there to physically outwit, outlast, outplay a couple people for $1 million, then I don't know, I decided I wasn't going to judge anybody because my objectives were very different than obviously what 15 other people were. 15 people applied to win $1 million. And I did too, but it wasn't my first objective.
There was such harmony in Rotu before they switched tribes. Would you personally have been a lot better off if they never did?
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, when those guys showed up at our camp with their torches, it was game on.
It changed all.
Absolutely.
John last night claimed that he was the leader. Did you always see him that way?
I never saw a leader in our tribe. I always felt like everyone contributed in every way that they could.
How would you characterize your relationship with John from the time you got on the island?
Great friends.
Great friends?
Great friends. Absolutely.
You can say that now after watching what he did to you?
That's the game. That's an objective that John had. And luckily, because we had 2 weeks without voting...
Yeah, but wait a second, you're losing me here. You already said there's a decision that has to be made here between ethics and the game. And you put a higher priority on the ethics.
On an individual basis.
Now you watch John choose a higher priority on the game, and you still sit there and say he's a great guy.
John and R's relationship was developed long before he started thinking about the game. Our friendship was solid before the switch. When the switch happened, that was the beginning of the end, and I knew it. And I knew that people that had come out there to win $1 million we're going to start getting the ball rolling because now it was time. He
was very manipulative on camera that we saw. When you're in it with him, did you see him as being manipulative?
I think John is very, very smart and an extremely well-rounded person.
That's not what I asked.
Certainly has the charisma to attract people to him and to sway their decisions.
Did you see him as manipulative?
No. I saw really. You don't see a lot of what's going on behind the scenes, but if you don't care about it, then you relax and you don't stress out about it. Would I say John was manipulative? No. Would I say John went out there to win the game? Absolutely.
Up until the end, you still could have saved yourself. I mean, you could have gone to the 3 ex-Maramu, Sean, V, and Rob, and voted with him and had a standoff. Did it occur to you? Did you toy with the idea?
Absolutely. Tears. I was in tears thinking about the idea. I wanted so badly for the experience not to be over. But you just have to make a choice. The experience or the game, because they're mutually exclusive. You can go out there and have a wonderful adventure and have more fun than anybody else, or you can go out there to win the game, and you end up coming back and you watch yourself on TV and you see the things that you said to these people and all of their friends and family, and the whole country's watching you. And you got to be able to do that. You got to be able to come back here and watch what you said. And for me, I had to be able to be proud of what I did.
And as you watched yourself last night, what'd you think?
Great. Loved it. I thought it was a great show last night.
You were proud of the way you behaved?
Yeah, I was. I was proud of the way I behaved, except for the rap. I wish they hadn't shown me rap.
It actually wasn't that bad. I mean, we thought you were pretty good.
Well, thanks.
Where do you want this thing to lead? I mean, was 15 minutes of fame enough for you?
Was it that long?
Okay.
15 minutes of fame is enough for me if that's all that happens. Ideally, what would happen next would be more adventures in my life. Adventure racing is a big goal for me now, and I hope that Survivor might open some doors for that. But adventure racing is everything that I liked about Survivor.
All right, stay put. We're going to come on back and talk in just a little bit, Gabe. Thanks very much.
You got
As we come back at 8:30, it is time to check our weekly Survivor scorecard. Aided by last week's switch, the Maraamu tribe won immunity for the first time last night, forcing the newly formed Rotu tribe to vote off its first member. John, Vesepia, Tammy, Rob, Sean, Robert, Zoe, unanimously stuffed out Gabriel Cade's flame. Gabe, welcome back.
Thanks very much.
And I guess Vesepia and Sean and Rob voted for you because they didn't want to be in the position of voting for one of the originals.
Exactly right. You got to if you're in there to play the game, you got to make your alliances where you can. And that was their only play, because otherwise it was going to be Maraamu 1, 2, 3, and on the other side Maraamu 1, 2, and then the wonderful little love tribe back together again.
We were just talking a little bit about your rap.
Oh,
Around
yeah?
the Fire. It's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
And you came up with that just...
That was what we like to call freestyling.
Have you talked?
And that's your teddy bear, which was your luxury item.
My teddy bear was my luxury item.
Right.
And when we jumped off the boat into the water, it smelled so bad for so long that I almost threw it in the fire.
You're
just
saying
to
it.
escape.
You're saying it. It has a name, doesn't it?
Well, it smelled that bad.
Come on, what's its name?
Jimmy. Jimmy made a fantastic pillow, and when people got sick, Jay would curl up with Jimmy, and I pushed for Jimmy to be the mascot of our tribe, but it didn't take.
And where's Jimmy now?
Jimmy's in California.
So
Jimmy's in the
kept
dressing
him-
room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's in it. He's on next, isn't he?
You didn't throw him out this
No way.
Yeah,
No. He goes
good,
on all the adventures.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
And you've been on a lot of them, right?
I've been really, really lucky. Yeah, really
Yeah.
lucky. I got to live in Europe for a couple months, and I got to lead adventure trips in France, and I got to go to South America and climb some volcanoes, and I hiked the Appalachian Trail from Maine to Georgia. I've been really, really fortunate in my life.
Jane, the man has been on a zillion and one adventures, but
Yes,
get
he
this one,
has.
the one he has not been on. This is his first time ever
First
in New York
time
City.
in New York.
Did you get in a cab yet?
I've not gotten in a cab yet, but they look really interesting.
Well, that's an adventure in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys recommend anything?
Oh, we got lists of things.
Yeah, we got a bunch of things.
We'll write a list for you when we're done with this.
But his twin sister lives here, and so he gets to spend some time. How long are you going to stick around?
Until Monday morning, then I head back to California.
Did you talk to your folks after last night's episode?
Very, very briefly. My mom was very sad to see me go. I hadn't told them that I was getting voted off, so it was as much a surprise to them as anyone.
They must be enormously proud of you, though. I mean, the attitude with which you approached and played the game.
You know, I think I could say that they are because they taught me that attitude. I think they could be pretty proud of themselves. You know, I had real good structure and love as a kid.
He is a very impressive young man.
I know. It's incredible. I went over to him and I said, I read your bio.
So much.
How can you only be 23? I mean, the guy has built houses for the poor. He's hiked the Appalachian Trail. He's coached. He teaches. He's a bartender. He's a chauffeur.
I wish I had a younger sister for you.
I wish you did too.
Hey, Gabe,
Well,
thanks
it's
so
good to
very
meet
much.
you.
Thanks so much for having you guys.
you.
It was a
It's
real
very
treat
good
for
to see
me.
you. Okay, take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Have fun in New York.
Yeah, New York. All right.
All right.
We're going to come